I mean, because I just don't understand, because we have officers that just do the arrest, and what I don't understand, and I'm gonna say this, because see, I stay in project housing, y'all stay in homes, and they treat people in project housing different than they treat y'all in your home. And see, I go to me, you know, and see, we need to all get together and stick together, because I'm a single parent. I raised my daughter good. My daughter goes to a private school. She goes to a college preparatory. And I have 2 more kids. But I just don't think it's fair when a person is trying to live their life and then you having stuff happening to you on your property or to your, things on your property, but then it's just, oh, that's all right. That's all right. Oh, but she be helping the youth out, so why should we help her out? I don't feel that's right.
Now, you had a question for one of the...
Yeah, okay. First of all...
Cool, because it's not right.
Okay, who I had a question for? Okay, Mary, why did you specifically focus on Plaza East and not Hayes Valley?
We're focusing on both. I mean,
I didn't hear you say nothing about Hayes Valley.
Well, I did. I said, we've had about 30 evictions at Plaza East, about a dozen at Hayes Valley. I have to tell you, the problem is more intense at Plaza East. If you look at the crime stats.
Yeah, we know.
So, I mean, that's one of the reasons. But we spend the same amount of money to do the same things at both properties.
Okay, have y'all ever thought about being involved with the tenants instead of just trying to evict them?
We are involved with the tenants. We do a lot of programs with our tenants. We try to support the tenant councils. We talk to our tenants every day. Not me personally, because I'm not there, but our property managers. You can laugh.
Because what you're saying, I know you're lying.
If you spend a week in the office with our property manager, you'll see how often they're sitting there with residents, helping line them up with support, with the tenant payments, the rental assistance programs I've told you about.
That's something that the tenants are doing on their own from us.
The rental assistance payments programs I've told you about, working with the housing rights folks, trying to get referrals, fixing their units. I mean, we interact with them constantly. And I invite you. I'll sit there with you. Spend a week in the office, and you'll see how much interaction we have with residents. It's ongoing.
You have a question?
I do. I just want to kind of come back because I feel like we kind of
lost focus.
Just brushed over kind of some really hard-hitting stuff here just in terms of Tina. I know we got like the stuff to move through, but I think in order for us to all work together and move collectively, we have to kind of try to hear what's being said. I heard 2 questions. One was the idea of the probation officers, and I think as a community, or at least in terms of this Western Addition, I don't know that we are as engaged with the probation officers that may be assigned to this neighborhood. And I know that at one point there were specific probation officers assigned to certain districts, which it might be good for us to all maybe understand who that person is so that if something is coming up, they can't necessarily give us information, but we could at least share information with them. And I think that that's empowering to the community to be able to say, this is the person who is handling this area. If something's going on, you can give them a call. I think that that was the connection that Tina was asking for, is that who is the person that if something comes up in terms of juvenile probation at least, that if we know that they're on probation, who can we reach out to? And then the next one is a very real fact that maybe we're not going to deal with it here, but I know personally, and other folks here have seen it, that when we have a community meeting in a space like this, it's very different than the community meetings that we have on public housing sites. The responses are very different. When we've had public meetings at Plaza East, for instance, we've been swarmed with the police officers because there's a fear that something negative is going to happen. And so we've got to figure out how to get the same response that this meeting can get for folks in public housing who feel like, I know Tina's not sharing it right now, but she's very frustrated because she has spoken up, has been threatened.
Because my daughter's different from all of them.
Okay, Tina. So I think that as we talk about public safety, much in the same way that Brothers for Change have been really instrumental, there are other folks in the neighborhood who have been instrumental in being able to go and talk to youth and say, knock it off. But we don't want to lose those voices. So I think it's really important to kind of validate what's being said. First, how do we begin to better engage with probation in terms of this neighborhood. And then second, just not maybe for this time, but for folks to really understand moving forward, how do we support our neighbors that live in public housing, because they don't all need to be evicted. Some people need to be supported and empowered to do exactly what's happened here tonight.
Right.
Can I come in before you answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because my question was for youth probation. How do we as a community get involved when you can't identify who needs the help, and if we do know who needs the help, you can't comment on the case? So there's nothing we can do. If you can't comment, nobody knows who they are. All they see are youth. They obviously need help, but
Okay, that's a great question. First of all, Tony Hurley is the probation officer that we've asked to take a lead role in this area. And I know that he's attended a number of meetings in the past. Tony Hurley.
Where he at?
Where is he?
Yeah, I ain't never seen him.
I thought they wanted the bosses at this.
No, no.
at the
No, they're
next
talking
meeting.
about it in the community.
And so I know that he's worked at the Northern Station, and is well known among the officers there. I would have asked Tony to be here tonight, but we asked him to do so many other things. He's with the Serious Offenders Office, the Serious Offenders Program, and you have a representative from the intensive probation and the adult that's here this evening. My goal is to have community-based assigned probation officers. That has been part of my background in the 38 years I've been a probation officer out east, and when I came here 4 years ago. It's a matter of staff availability. To answer your question, while we can't comment on the specifics of cases, we certainly will love to listen to what you have. And we can't comment on any of the
You work
dynamics.
for the juvenile department, right?
It's the head boss.
But, okay, but I'm just saying, we don't have to know nothing. The probation officer should already know, because they knew my problems when it first hit down, when I went to court, when I was smoking weed, when I was drinking, when I was stealing. They knew what problems I had.
Right.
So you should already know what problems that person have, and you should be referring them to the programs that are qualified to handle that whatever is going on with them at that time.
That's our goal, and we would like to know, unfortunately, we're not there all the time, but you are.
Yeah.
And so I mentioned earlier that we're always open, and I know that this group has had some very serious concerns about individuals that have been brought to our attention, and we're in the process of remedying that. That's the extent that I can go at this point. But we're very much committed to moving in the direction of having locally based probation officers. Have we got some more questions right here?
I wanted to apologize to the group, because I just wanted to, my daughter is different. My daughter is really completely different. Some of y'all have met my daughter, and I just didn't appreciate the young man saying he was gonna slap my daughter. I had to call my brother here, and I don't, so I just don't want none of that type of stuff to go on. I'd rather go at it a better way. I even contacted Captain Cassiano, and talk to them too, so.
You know, we have a number, we have the adult probation right here, we have the district attorney's office right here, we have the captain of Northern Station right here. Do we have any questions for any of those, or also for some of the volunteer groups and neighborhood organizations? Did you have something right there? Kevin, did you have something?
Yes, I'm Kevin Williams, and this is not a question, this is directed at everybody here. I went to St. Ignatius, I went to school all here in San Francisco. But, a lot of people come out to these meetings, and they do a lot of talking. But we really need y'all out on the front line with us. And we talk good in these rooms, and it sounds real good. But we doing a lot of work out there. And we can just get some of the tie wear sometimes, and this is not to be negative, this is just to say, just working hand in hand together, and people in our neighborhood start seeing if we can work together, then they should try their best to start working together, because we have accomplished a great thing here. We're moving, and I see it because I was on the other side of the fence, and I'm just so glad that I'm able to be on this side now, because life is good, but it's only good if we make it good. So please, let's start doing this together. And I know y'all work hard at your jobs in the office and all of that. But sometimes they got weekends that you might get get a little dirty with us out there and let people know that you just not just talking, and you willing to do whatever it takes to get this job done, because this is a job that needs to be done. And thank you.
Do we have any?
Because I think the point that he made is really important, but I also think is I see people that are here in the ties and suits like me, and also the people that I do see on the evenings and the weekends, and they're at meetings like this, and so the whole goal of having a meeting like this is so the people that are here, the residents, the community, can learn about the offices that we hold and the positions that we do, and know that we have an open door and understand how we are accessible, and how to use the public defender's office, how to use the district attorney's office, how to interact with the police department, how to talk to housing and probation, and that is the point. And so maybe the takeaway from a meeting like this is that now that we are all educated, we're all learning, we're all exposed to all of these good ideas that we learned and all the things that we heard tonight, that we act as our own agents of change, and we go home and we talk to our families, and we talk to our community members, and we talk to our friends and tell them the information that we got and how to access the services and the government agencies that work all around us. And maybe that's how we continue this ball and rolling. And that's the takeaway that we get. So hopefully that's going to work. And I was City Nations too. So we all keep
You know, remember that a lot of these people have left their business cards and their flyers right there. So make sure, you know, you pick them up and everything so you have the direct contact with some of these people, some of the departments, and also the organizations like Mo Magic, Brothers for Change, like San Francisco Safe, like, you know, the Beacon Center and so forth, AAACC. So anyway, any more questions for the, right here? Oh, right there.
I've got one that's addressed really at every police department, the city hall, all emergency services, anybody to do with group grassroots organizations. When I first moved to California, I moved down to Fresno, and it was in 2000 when the Enron debacle started up. One of the first things they did is they put solar panels up on their fire department, their police department, their sheriff's department, their county jail, and city hall. When I moved here, I was kind of disappointed not to see all everybody the same thing. We were suffering the rolling blackouts. Now, once that little bit of industry went there, it started getting out to a grassroots movement to the houses, so that a rather large house could be done for $12,000 on solar panels. This is one of the few new industries on the market. Now, I'd like to know what kind of moves are being made in that direction, because the first schematics that me and my friends ever learned to read were the schematics for our 8-track stereos that we were installing in our cars, and I happen to think the teenagers today are no different. So what moves are we making in that direction?
Well, Supervisor, is that the work that Ellie Hill Hutch is kind of going to be taking on that role in terms of the panel rollout and the stimulus money that's supposed to be?
Yeah, I mean, this notion of green jobs, to me, it's still rhetoric. And I haven't quite seen what the true reality of green jobs is. And I'm hoping that the federal government holds true to their word and gives municipalities those dollars so we can put people to work in building renewable energy systems or upgrading towards energy efficiency. The first gesture by the federal government to San Francisco was a few months ago, and it was unveiled at Ellie Hill Hutch. It was a cool thing because Speaker Pelosi was there, we were all there, many people from the community, and so money will be applied for the energy efficiency towards Ellie Hill Hutch, and the people who will do it will be people from, hopefully, the district and certainly from the city in distressed neighborhoods. But the point that we've done now is that there's a new job training center, placement center in the Safeway in the Gary Webster Safeway. It's a one-stop job training and placement center. And we're hoping that if people are seeking job and job training, they go to this job training center and they look for what's available. Now, this thing is a pilot, and it's never been done in this part of the city before, and it's never been done well when it was at the State Building at EDD on Turk Street. I don't think it's ever spoken really to the city well in our neighborhood. But now we're trying to tailor so that the jobs, whether it's green jobs on solar, wind, whatever it may be, or if it's just any kind of job, we're trying to get the private sector to step up. And now hopefully it will be done through the One-Stop Job Training Center. And most of the people going through there right now, as the stats show, in the last 2 months, the high majority are formerly incarcerated.
What kinds of jobs are they being trained for?
The question was what kind of jobs. One area that we're pushing heavily is that District 5, this part of the city, we're Pill Hill. This is the epicenter of the medical and biomedical industry. And since San Francisco, over the years, has lost its manufacturing base, it's been compensated by other services. Hospital services, UCSF, Kaiser, CPMC, Pacific Press, those are in all our districts. And so we should be demanding a level of job opportunities for people who live in our districts. And the leverage that we're using to get those jobs is our one-stop to help make that happen. You live in 115 and 117 or 102 that borders this area, now you've got armor behind you that demands that you want to set up business or you want your business to flourish. We've established law that makes sure that you're hiring people from our community. The One-Stop Job Training Center is the mechanism that helps facilitate that. But again, this is all pilot. And by law, private companies don't have to do jack, but that's why we're trying to put the pressure on them in the most effective way possible. There you go.
Now, we do have, we're about ready to end. We got a few more time for just a couple more questions. We do have adult probation right here. We have the public defender right here. We have district attorney. We have housing authority. And we also have some of the local groups. If anybody has any questions for some of the, right here from the local groups, or else we talk to them. Make sure you get their business card and get the contacts, the email address, the phone number, how to contact these people. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here.
So what do you do with this video now that you have it?
I work with Brothers for Change.
Thank you.
Do they post it or anywhere? Do they have a website they post it or anything like that?
He does. I'll
talk to Eric. We were saying we could put the link on our website to yours, wherever it is.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's great. I'll talk to Aries. Yeah, just talk with Aries. What are you doing here, man? There's no trouble here.
Are you going to put this up on the, who are we going to put?
She just spoke to me. She's speaking with, I work with Brothers for a Change.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so, okay, I'm Rainbow. Yeah. Just speaking with him. But I actually do a lot of work with him as far as video. But I
was just thinking, if you have the
I love that. Just put my name with it.
Absolutely.
That's all. That's it.
You know what I'll do is I'll get you in touch. Get you in touch with my brother's first name. Put you in touch with David Holloway or David in touch with me because he does the website. So maybe I can work some little clips.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. I actually do a lot of this in the community. I've been doing it for about 7 years now. But I've been mostly on the streets. I'm in the streets with the guys and the drugs and the homicide.
I wonder because I thought what they said was maybe the song. You know, are you looking when you say like a man at the time? Is it mostly men?
It's mostly guys. Well, I've just turned on with them. I'm a video artist. I like police. I like police. I get a lot of homicides. I have most of the homicide rings that he talking about the cabin that went down. Well, I have the ones when it was up. I have the bodies. I'm there. I live in it. Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey. It's on Eddie's. Marcus Garvey. It's right around the corner. It's on Eddie, Steiner, and Pierce. Those buildings. I live in it. And I just shoot. I'm outside before the policeman. Well, yeah, okay. Yes.
So that's what you've been doing for years.
Yeah, that's what I did. Hopefully we're going to put a documentary together. I have dub eyes. I have not yet, because I'm just small. I'm just getting myself together. Teamed up with Brothers for a Change, so they can kind of help me. Yeah, but I don't have no problem putting it on the website. But yeah, please.
My name's Thea.
I used to work for the free school teacher too.
Really? She was a teacher?
Okay, so have them come. I'd love to do that. That'll work for me.
Yeah, we can just do little clips, I think.
I know it's, they love it. I know that, but
I don't know if it's videos of homicides.
Right.
I don't even know if it's videos of, I'd like to know what you have actually, because that could be
I've got a little bit of everything.
It sounds like
I've got police
it's all
commissioner
about,
meetings.
do you have anything that's specifically about the lower page? Do you think? And we're calling that my page to Waller. Is that would be, I think, good, maybe Hayes Valley kind of stuff that's more good.
Call me, I'll look through, because I haven't been able to stuff. I actually know, oh, that's mine. I actually know some of them. Yeah, because I'm familiar with the whole, I go over it. I'm living. So I'm down there. I was down there when he was down there. Doing the same thing. No, I'm not seeing from the Western Region. But I go back and forth.
Again, the weather.
The weather is nice. My daughter just moved to a little town.
You went to more than we expected. Just nice period.
Just moved there. Yeah, it's a small. I know it's a small town. No, I'm not sure because he just got there. 28.
The only one we didn't get was Pearl. Yeah, I tried.
So you have that guy going. I will. Let me have another guy. I'm gonna give. That's the one in the. Oh, he went out. She went out. He was sitting at the table with this gentleman. No, that's him. No. There is. Oh, there he is right there. That's him.
Free, everybody wears.
So there's a building in Charles on Webster, and it's connected to Charles.
You know what you're talking about?
I've heard of it, but I don't know.
Hey. Huh? They hit it. They hit her on the bike. They hit her on the bike.
Who's driving that car? Who's driving it? Okay. Thanks, Ethan. I'm gonna head to the station because I'm supposed to be there.
LinkedIn. Yeah.
You are driving.
Back there for your lane.
Come over here.
Up high or down
You
low?
ready for me?
Yeah, I guess to
Your shoulder blades up there?
Yeah, I got it. You already got the driver, right? I'll get him in a second then.